Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Ellen Barrett, and my first guest today is a subject I love talking about, coffee. And I think everybody loves talking about it. At least if you don't, you should, because coffee is great and it's magical. And I'm joined by Kate Siriani, and she is the owner of Crescendo Espresso Bar and Music Cafe. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And first, we just wanted to know, did you always want to own a coffee shop, or how did this come to be?
Yeah, so I've been in the coffee industry for about 11 years.
Wow.
And my first...
What a joy.
Yeah, seriously. My first job, I was living in Denver, Colorado, pursuing a music career, and It was a job that I could have to work in the morning and then play at night. Wow. And my first job, I was like, I'm gonna open my own coffee shop someday and make it a music venue.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds for you.
It's great, yeah, totally.
So what is your goal as a cafe and a music bar?
We really want to create a solid customer experience across the board. So high-end coffee, really reliable, really consistent, and then music, same thing. Right. Where people know that if they come to see a show at Crescendo, it's going to be great, even if they don't know the artist, even if they don't necessarily like the genre of music. If they come to see a show at the shop, it's going to be awesome. If they come to grab a cup of coffee, it's going to be awesome.
So it sounds like it's almost kind of like an experience, really, whenever you stop by.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. And where do you see your business going in 5 years? Because I know I looked at your website too, and you guys have a lot going on. Yeah. You do events where you can actually bring coffee and an espresso bar to people to your event.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for the next 5 years?
So about a little over a year ago, we launched a mobile portion of our business, what you're referring to now. And really, we really feel like one brick and mortar store, the one that we have on Monroe Street, is going to be our one location. And the mobile bar is really the thing that we see kind of taking off and spreading its wings, because it's been pretty successful so far. People really like it. We can bring the same customer experience that you have in our store. We can bring it to your wedding, corporate event, that kind of thing. And we're really gonna take off with that, I think.
Right.
That's our
And I really
goal.
like the idea, because I feel like it's something I've never thought of before, but then I'm like, that is so awesome, because most people love coffee and great coffee. Yeah. And what a cool way to kind of make your event a little bit more unique and different than something that other people are doing.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of overlooked. It's kind of like, we'll have coffee at the end of the night.
But it's usually, not very good.
And the presentation usually isn't there.
Right.
So it's cool to be able to offer an experience even at the end of your night or during your cocktail hour. Right. That's something a little bit new and fun, or at your business meeting.
Very cool. And what would you recommend to people who are coming into Crescendo for the first time?
We are kind of known for our nitro cold press coffee, which is a 16-hour cold brew toddy system coffee that we keg and then put on nitrogen tap, and it pulls kind of like a beer, so it cascades. It's really beautiful. It's super creamy, delicious.
Wow.
We use Anodyne coffee in our coffee shop. They're a roaster out of Milwaukee. And so I would say try that. And then this summer we're doing affogatos, which are it's espresso and ice cream. We're using Calliope ice cream.
Oh my!
We have
another thing that I love.
Yeah, seriously. But then we also do floats with the nitro cold press coffee. So ice cream and coffee.
And so this may be kind of an obvious question, but what sets you apart from some of the other coffee bars or different places, and even the different coffee bars on Monroe Street?
Sure. So we've touched on it a couple of times.
Yeah.
The customer experience is really, really important to us. And I think that is really kind of what sets us apart, is that we want it to be experienced from the moment you walk into the door, and when you leave, we want you to feel like, I really want to go back there. It felt great. It felt like home to me.
Right.
And that's really what we strive for, and hope that we present to our customers.
And now before we go, I have to ask, favorite coffee drink, go.
Oh my gosh, an 8-ounce double shot whole milk vanilla latte.
Ooh, that was a pretty quick answer.
Well, yeah.
That's always my best question, for coffee experts, that's a good one to know. So
Yeah.
maybe give that a try, or try the cold brew. That sounds pretty interesting too.
Cold brew's great.
So make sure you check out the Crescendo Espresso Bar and Music Cafe. It's at 1859 Monroe Street, so be sure to check them out. Thank you so much for being here today, Kate.
Thank you for having me.
Talk of the Town will be back right after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. And we're talking about another one of my favorite subjects, not only coffee, like we talked about a little bit earlier, but now we're talking about bread, pastries, and cookies. That's like the trifecta of goodness. And I'm joined now by Angela Neff, and she is the president and owner of New Glarus Bakery. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we've got this beautiful spread here, and it's just lovely, and it's making my stomach growl, and I just want to take it all, and hopefully nobody notices that I take it out of the camera shot. But we'll talk about a little bit about all these things as we go through our interview today. And first, I just wanted to touch on, what old world techniques do you guys use in your bakery? And I've heard that you guys do.
Well, everything that we do is all from scratch. We have signature recipes that have been around for generations. The bakery is over 100 years old. So
Over 100 years old?
Yes. It was actually built in 1910, and the business has flourished ever since. And through the generations, we've kept recipes. I'm like the 7th owner, so we still have some of the traditions. But as far as old world techniques, the cheesy baked potato bread that you see on the platter there, which is made with real cheddar cheese and locally grown chives from our customers, it's all hand formed. My baker, Eric, he does a fantastic job. He's the night guy, and he makes all of our breads, and every single loaf of bread is formed by hand. We use very little machinery when it comes to making our breads.
Wow. And with love.
And a lot of love, you bet, you bet. We also hand roll all of our signature nut horns. There's butter, walnuts, and sugar inside. And then our apple fritters are all hand formed too. They're all hand patted down. Our beer bread mix is all hand bagged, and those are all just simple ingredients, the flours and the herbs. And then really the only thing that we do have some automation with is our cookies. Our dog treats are actually run on our cookie machine to get the little nuggets. So just the right bite size for Fido.
They're so cute and so cool, you know. You can stop in and get something for yourself and for your dog too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I know you kind of mentioned this too, and something, you know, probably throughout history has always been important for good food is good ingredients. And where do your ingredients come from? And I know you kind of touched on this a little bit too.
A lot of our ingredients come from Northern Illinois, from our customers. We take in rhubarb, zucchini, chives every year.
Wow.
We do reciprocation for gift certificates for the items that are brought in. Our butter is local. We actually get it just a few miles down the road. A lot of our flours and sugar and such are from Minnesota. So it's kind of all one state away.
Good old Midwestern food and ingredients.
Yeah.
And now I've heard you guys give back to the community as well.
We do. Amongst donating tons of gift certificates for food and for fundraisers and such, our big push is our cookie dough fundraiser. In the last 5 to 6 years, our local New Glarus Youth Monticello football team really they've raised over $50-some thousand in selling our cookie dough because we give back 50%. I always say we donate our labor, you pay for the ingredients, we hand pack every 2-pound tub of cookie dough. So we really try to give back as much as we can.
And I bet it's just as tasty as it is good for the community.
Yes.
And I heard you guys do green initiatives too. So what kind of those do you have going on?
If you visited the bakery, take a look at the building and then look up. We actually have solar panels.
Wow.
We do. We've got 24 solar panels up on the roof. We do about 9,700 kilowatts a year on that. And we also have what's called a thermistor. Our thermistor actually takes the heat off of our compressors in the freezer, and then it translates it to hot water because we have to have a lot of hot water to do our dishes. So,
Very cool. Such a cool combination too of a place that has been running for so long. These, you know, recipes that have been passed down for, you know, through the generations really, but then combining that too with new technology and giving back to the community is very cool.
So. Yeah.
Now for these beautiful and yummy different foods you guys are making, do you guys ship?
Yes, we do. We ship continental United States. We've even shipped to Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Alaska. Christmas is our big season. Anytime it's cool, we can definitely ship. We don't want our products to get damaged in transit.
Right, right.
But yeah, we do ship quite a bit. Yep.
So if you're watching this wherever you are in the world, you know, check them out and they can probably make it happen.
Yeah, you
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today, Angela. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. She's the president and owner of New Glarus Bakery. and check out these beautiful things. And you can head to their bakery. And where are you guys located?
534 First Street. We're right off we're third business on the right-hand side after coming off of Highway 69 and 39. And we're open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days a week after March 1st. We do close the first 2 weeks in January just to take a break, and then we're back to normal business hours.
Wonderful, and that's where you can find them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Talk of the Town will be back right after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We're talking small business development today, and I'm joined by Andrea, and she's the Regional Project Director for WWBIC, and that's the Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative. Did I get that right?
That's right, yep.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So let's just start off with, what is WWBIC?
WWBIC is an economic development organization. I mean, our main goal is to help small businesses get started. We are a statewide organization. We've been around about 30 years. Our main headquarters is in Milwaukee. We also have offices in Kenosha and Racine.
Okay.
But we can help people all over the state. And we help them in lots of different ways. So through education, through funding, for lending, and technical assistance. And it does have women in the name,
Sure.
but 30% of our clients are gentlemen. So
sure.
That's perfectly fine. We're just funded partly by the SBA, which funds women business offices. And so that's kind of where it started, because we wanted to help those that maybe didn't have the normal means, or people weren't out there. So we do target women, but everybody's welcome.
But offering help to everybody,
Yes.
it sounds like.
Yes.
And so what are some of the challenges that small businesses face?
One of the biggest ones is the fact that they have to wear so many hats. You know, you'll have somebody that is excellent at baking a cake, but yet they may not have HR type of experience. They may not have experience in the bookkeeping, which is usually the hard part, looking at the numbers, trying to understand their expense, trying to understand what their cost of goods are and how that affects things. So that's where we come in. So we come in and help them with, again, through education or technical assistance or whatnot.
So I know you mentioned some examples too, but could you just mention some more examples of different businesses who have kind of used your services?
Oh, sure. We've had like the Chocolatarian, for example, in Madison. We've one of our new ones is Rockhound Brewery on Park Street.
Okay.
We've provided daycares, Fairyland daycares.
Wow.
People that work that have adult care in their home. We've done all kinds of products, from bottling products to everything. If you look at all the industries, we help everybody in all of them. All the categories are represented. So yeah.
A little bit of everything then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very cool. And so if somebody is thinking about, I've always really wanted to start my own business, or I have a really good idea, what are the first steps that they should take?
Well, one of the first steps, they could just come in and talk to us. It's the counseling's free.
Sure.
So come in, sit down with me usually, or anyone in any of our markets, and then talk about their idea. The business plan is really essential. So we want to get them started. And you need a business plan if you go to a bank, if you come to us for funding, anywhere. But you need it for yourself.
Right.
So that you can, take a look at the business and decide, is it viable? If you're going to put all of your effort and everything into this, you want to first come down and sit down and think about it before you spend all the money and just jump in.
And I think that would probably be a part too that's really hard for people who do have an idea, trying to put that idea and focus it into a real life action plan.
Yeah, a lot of them have a lot of passion. You have to have the passion.
But that doesn't make a successful business necessarily.
Right.
So having that expertise and having someone say, these are the things you need to iron out first.
Yep.
And you guys do lending services too.
Yes.
So could you tell me a little bit about that and how it's different than a bank necessarily?
Certainly. Primarily, we provide this technical assistance.
Okay.
So when you get a loan with us, we assign a small business consultant to you. And the person that we have working now, Allison, is absolutely fabulous. She's owned several businesses. She'll sit down with you. I've seen her sit down with our clients for 8 hours in a day and go through their books and help them recategorize things so that they're claiming their taxes correctly. We have volunteers also. So we have about 300 volunteers across the whole across the whole state.
Wow.
And so if you say, hey, I'd like a little help with my Facebook page, or I'd like to understand social media a little bit, like I said, we can either have a class for you to do, or this technical assistance will help it. The other thing we have is Kiva, which is one of the what do you want to say, crowdsourcing type of
Oh, sure.
lending. So,
Okay.
that's another way to start. And we work with our bank partners. So if we can't do the whole loan, or maybe they can do part of it, we look to different organizations to pull the whole deal together to make it happen.
Wow. So a lot of different services, a little bit of something for everybody, it
Yeah.
sounds like, that your organization offers.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today, Andrea. I appreciate it. And again, she is with WIBIC, the Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative. That's a mouthful.
It is.
We'll just shorten it to WIBIC.
Yeah,
That's
WIBIC.
much easier.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being here today, Andrea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Talk of the Town will be back right after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm joined today by Buzz, and he is the co-owner of Audio for the Arts. And today we're going to talk about recording. So thank you so much for being here today, Buzz.
Well, thank you, Ellen. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good to have you back, and I know we've had you on Talk of the Town before, so it's always good to have a
Indeed.
familiar face.
I think you're going to keep having me come back until I get it right.
I hope so. We'll keep trying. You can keep striving for that perfection.
I will.
And so we're talking about recording today, and who are the clients and the different people that you serve at Audio for the Arts?
I think I have the best job in the world. We do, one day we'll be working with a symphony orchestra, which I was yesterday, the Madison Symphony. The next day we might be recording an audiobook at the studio, and the day after that we'll be doing a set of commercials for a company that needs those. We love to do, my business partner and I love to do classical music, jazz, bluegrass, stuff like that, and also the business stuff as well is really, really fun. And the only stuff we avoid is if somebody comes to us with a project that we really don't feel that we can do a good job at.
Right.
So it's like, that's a genre of music I'm not very familiar with. I don't think it's going to be awesome, so let me recommend my friend so-and-so and we'll send them somewhere else. But other than that, pretty much anything.
Wow, such a vast variety of different things that you guys do.
Keeps it interesting.
Very cool. And so many people nowadays have studios in their homes, it seems like, and they've, put something together. It's smaller. But I just kind of wanted to know, are professional studios still better? Or for some projects?
That's a great question.
Okay.
And the advent of the home studio really changed the industry a lot, especially for the rock studios. A lot of the big rock studios just went out of business. What we found in the music that we do, especially the acoustic music, is that for rehearsals recordings, to make sure, does our ensemble really sound the way we think it should?
Yeah.
The home studio is great. For a demo, the home studio can be great. When you're ready to make that professional recording to put out to the public, then I think you want to call a professional. We have a single microphone that it costs as much as some people's entire home studio.
Wow.
We have a 7-foot grand piano, which you're not going to have in your basement.
Wow.
So when people come to us, that means, okay, now we've done our prep work, now we're ready to go ahead and get serious, and that's what we're good at.
It sounds like, too, there's all of these different variables that kind of can go into something and putting your recording to the next level.
Yeah.
You could be at this level, or, you could be at this level, depending upon.
Correct.
Sure. And I have a list here of some of the big name people you've worked with before, including Yo-Yo Ma and many others. And so those are obviously some really big names, but can beginners come to you guys too, or people who are just starting out?
Yeah, absolutely. And once in a while, we'll get somebody calling up and saying, I'm not sure if you'll want to work with me. I'm just a beginner. And we're like, absolutely, we want to work with you. Come on in. We have a special, our very lowest rate is for students. We have a student rate that's our absolute lowest rate. And we make sure that students know that they're welcome to bring their instructor in with them so that they can sort of act as a producer, kind of help with the process and make it go smooth. And we'll do our best to make everybody feel comfortable and make sure you get the best product you can. One person's a professional, they're going to sell thousands of CDs. The next person is just maybe writing a love song to her husband and wants to record it. And we like working with all of them.
That sounds like such a fun and rewarding job.
It
You
is.
kind of get a lot of different people too coming in.
We sure do. We get a wide variety of musical styles, personality styles, and almost everybody is really nice and really, you know, generous and just really
Yeah.
wants to share their art, and it's a very personal relationship. It's very
I'm
cool
sure.
because when someone is sharing their art with you, it's kind of an exposure,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's this trust that builds up, and it's a great thing.
Do you do work outside of the studio too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do tons of remotes. We do sound for the Madison Symphony Orchestra. Of course, we go to Overture Hall for that. We record many choral groups that record in maybe their church or an auditorium that they like to work in, that they like the acoustics. And we have one client that actually has it's a business client. They have their own studio, but they want us to engineer. So one of
Wow.
us goes over to their studio and does the work there. So we can pack up and go just about anywhere.
Wow, very cool. And we're running out of time today, but I just wanted to throw in too, you also offer services for small businesses. Maybe they're coming up with ads or they need help with finding talent and scripts and voices, and just wanted to let small businesses know that you guys have that opportunity too. And maybe next time that's what we can talk
Let's
about.
talk about that next time.
Perfect. Thank
Great.
you so much for being here today,
Thank
Buzz.
you.
I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching Talk of the Town. Find us next time only on Channel 57.